Right, so today I'd love to demonstrate the Fruity Dream. So Fruity Dream, it's a soft serve style ice cream, and it is made with frozen fruit, sugar, tiny bit of sugar, and an egg white. So this has 3 ingredients. It takes less than 5 minutes to whip up, and it is usually the first dish that we do at a Thermomix demo, just because it has that real wow factor. Now I'm gonna precede this recipe with a warning. This is the recipe that made me fall in love with the Thermomix. So they were halfway through this recipe and I was like, take my money. So that's my warning, and I'm gonna show you Fruity Dream. So when you are cooking with the Thermomix, this is the TM6, there are 2 ways to cook with the Thermomix. So the first way is guided cooking using Cookido, our online recipe platform, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. And guided cooking, it's like GPS. The Thermomix gives you the instruction and you follow the instruction. Pretty much cooking for dummies or husbands or children. And the other way to cook with the Thermomix is manual cooking. So manual cooking means you are in charge. You have to drive the Thermomix. You tell the Thermomix what to do rather than the Thermomix giving you guidance. So I'm going to show you the Fruity Dream manual cooking, just because there are some of you out there who probably like, I don't want the Thermomix to tell me what to do. I want to be in charge. And so I want to show you that with the Thermomix, you don't have to follow step by step. You can actually be the driver and do it your way. So for Fruity Dream, as I said, we need a tiny bit of sugar. Now the recipe actually calls for 80 grams of sugar. I find that to be quite a lot of sugar. I am sweet enough, my family is sweet enough, and so I'm actually going to reduce the sugar to 50 grams. So if we slide over and we bring up the scale, there is a scale. The scale is accurate to within 1 gram. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pop just some normal sugar into the Thermomix. We've got about 50 grams, 48 grams. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to make some icing sugar. So pop the lid back onto the Thermomix, and we are going to set for 10 seconds, and we're going all the way up to speed 10, and we're going to end up with icing sugar. So that's our icing sugar. Now, if you wanted to make caster sugar, you wouldn't go quite as long. You'd only go for 5 seconds at speed 10. But yeah, there we have it, icing sugar. So this is the point, guys, where I was like, take my money. Because how amazing to be able to make icing sugar and caster sugar from plain sugar. And it had me thinking about what other things I could make, like, could I mill rice into rice flour? Could I mill chickpeas into chickpea flour? Could I mill almonds into almond meal? And yes, the answer is yes. And that's when I started to see that benefit of actually being able to just hold those bulk products and then be able to turn them into other products, and just save myself some money, and also save space in my pantry, and have everything be really freshly milled. So that's our icing sugar. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring the scale back up, and we are going to weigh into the bowl 500 grams of frozen fruit, roughly 500 grams. Now, you could use a bag, the countdown bag of frozen fruit, frozen berries, strawberries, mango, but I actually have some frozen pineapple in my freezer. So when pineapples were cheap and abundant, I bought some pineapple. We didn't get through it quickly enough, and so I cubed it and I just popped that in the freezer. And that is now going to go into the bowl. So I think we've got just over 500 grams. There you go. Yeah, 565. And we are now going to chop that pineapple, blend it up for 10 seconds on speed 8. So 10 seconds, speed 8. Now it is a stainless steel bowl, and this is frozen pineapple. So you are going to hear that power, but I'd love for you to hear when that pineapple starts to break down. And there you can hear it's already started to change. And then you can hear when it's no longer contacting the blade. So let's have a look at that pineapple, see what it looks like. Good, yeah, it's looking pretty good. So we've chopped that all up. For me, I want that just a little bit finer, I reckon. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to repeat. So we might go maybe another 5 seconds on speed 8. So in the same way, you can imagine how you're going to blitz smoothies up. Soups, you could blend up your soups. So 5 seconds, speed 8. There you go, and that's gonna look a whole lot better. Smells really good. I do love fresh pineapple. There you go. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to pop the butterfly whisk into the bowl. Now, butterflies have 4 wings. This is a butterfly. You cannot go over speed 4 with a butterfly, okay? Butterfly is good for making fruity dream, making meringue, so whipping egg whites. It's good for risotto because it stirs, so you don't have to. But my favorite use is the fruity dream. Don't go over speed 4. These are $25. Ask me how I know, okay? So the butterfly, we find the high blade, 2 of the blades are higher than the others, and we just pop the butterfly in behind the high blade, just to the left, and we just give it a little twist. Then what we do is we just loosen up the fruity, the pineapple, the frozen pineapple, and at this point we are going to add 1 egg white. There you go. So the egg white's going in there. Now some of you might be going, man, eggs are expensive at the moment, and in a second I am actually going to give you some other tips for if you don't want to use egg white. But all we're going to do is we're going to set 1 minute. There you go. And then we're going to set speed 4 because butterflies have 4 wings. So, eggs are quite expensive at the moment. You could substitute aquafaba. So aquafaba is the brine that chickpeas sit in the can. So if you put in, I don't know, about 60 grams of aquafaba, that would work. You could put in a tiny bit of coconut cream, so 60 grams of coconut cream. You could put dairy cream in there as well, 60 grams, about 60 or 100 grams. But yeah, chickpea liquid is quite a good substitute. I don't mind using my egg whites in here. I think it's a great use of egg whites, and it means that I have an egg yolk left over. What am I going to use that egg yolk for? Well, I could store a few of them up and make some hollandaise. They're not expensive, amazing hollandaise. Or I can, when I'm making my bread or my bread rolls in the Thermomix, I'm going to use that egg yolk to brush the bread before it goes into the oven. So one of the things I love about the Thermomix is just being able to use every last bit and not having any food waste. So that's a minute, guys. Have you ever seen ice cream made so quickly? So let me show you. It doesn't matter how many times I make Fruity Dream, every time I open the lid, I'm always like, my breath gets taken away a little bit. So there you have it, guys. That is Fruity Dream, pineapple Fruity Dream. My kids think this is ice cream, so we have this a lot for dessert. It is beautiful. It just has such a beautiful consistency, creamy and light and fluffy. Start thinking about what flavors Fruity Dream you could make with your Thermomix. Like, the flavor options are endless. You could do berries, you could do mango, you could do feijoa is amazing. And when you think about it, if you have fruit in your garden, this costs almost nothing to make because it's such a tiny bit of sugar and just an egg white. And even if you do have to buy the frozen fruit, you know, a bag of frozen fruit, I don't know, $6, $7, compared to some of those fresh fruit ice creams that you can get at, you know, the strawberry farm or whatever. So there you have it. That's Fruity Dream. It is one of our absolute favorites. What I would recommend with this one is it's great to serve straight away. And that's what we usually do. If you do want to pop it in the freezer, you can pop it into one of our ice cream tubs. These are available in the mix shop. The great thing about these is that an ice cream scoop scoops perfectly down the center. But yeah, I'm gonna call my kids upstairs because they're gonna be super excited about having ice cream. And then I'm gonna pop the rest in the freezer. It's great. It makes a huge amount. You can feed a crowd. Perfect when you're entertaining. And yeah, this is one of the amazing recipes that we offer as part of a cooking experience, either virtual or in person. If it's in person, you get to taste, and if it's virtual, you've just got to imagine it. But if you would like to know more about hosting your very own cooking experience, either in person or online, I'd love you to start thinking about 2 people that you could show the Thermomix to and blow away with this Fruity Dream. There you go. Right, so one of our amazing recipes. If you want more information about the Thermomix, about adding one to your kitchen, about seeing it in action, or about joining the team, then I'd love to chat with you more.